Good afternoon, rental folks, and welcome to the ARA of Canada hosted webinar, Coaching Your Team to Higher Sales. Our speaker today is Christina Acosta, head trainer at Conversa, a company providing personalized coaching and training on ListenForce. ListenForce is a call analytics tool that helps companies become more prosperous by turning passive listening into active learning. Their AI-powered software will do all the legwork for you by listening to your interactions and providing the data insights and tactics you need to succeed. Christina has over 10 plus years of experience in executive and life coaching, higher education, organization management, leadership, business development, sales, and marketing. She also holds an MPA from the University of West Florida and is an Amazon best-selling author of the book Inspired Living, co-authored with Dr. Larry Farwell, renowned neuroscience scientist and inventor of brain fingerprinting. She has been featured in Fox, CBS, NBC, and ABC News and other features worldwide. She is mother to an avid basketball player, which is a year-round sport in her household. When she's not a road warrior for travel ball, she enjoys traveling, being outdoors, and spending time with her friends and family. Christina, I will turn the webinar over to you.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I do appreciate that. Looks like we have Karen joining too as well. So I'm going to go ahead and admit her in this training. So how many of you guys, show of hands, you can put in your little video hand or you can turn on your camera, let me see your face. How many of you guys heard of Conversa and ListenForce before? You can also put it in the chat too as well. So put it in the chat, yes, I've heard of Conversa. Yes, I've heard of ListenForce, or just pop up your hand. Let's see here. Let me check the chat. All right, cool. So never heard of it. Thank you, Ivana. Awesome. So let me give you a little bit of background of who we are before I get started. So Conversa, we are a sales optimization company. And so we have 20 plus years of experience. And with that experience, we've analyzed over 100 million calls around the world. And what we do is we really tap into those conversations and get actionable insights to basically create a beautiful customer experience, to improve your customer experience, as well as increase your sales within your company and your business. So let me go ahead and share my PowerPoint with you guys. Give me 1 second. Can everyone see my screen okay? Thumbs up? Do I have a thumbs up? Awesome, perfect.
Sorry, I don't see it.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Danielle. Yes, you can see my screen. Okay, cool. So ListenForce, we are a product of Conversa, and I am the head training. Michael, you can't see my screen?
No. Oh, okay. I now I can. Sorry. Okay.
Got it? Sweet.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So Conversa, ListenForce is a product of Conversa. I am the head trainer in coaching for Conversa. And so what this is basically, as I mentioned before, we have experience analyzing over 100 million calls nationally to gather insights, because what we have found is a lot of our clients, they come to us, they're like, we spend so much money in marketing, right? But we're not seeing the sales. What's going on? Or we have so many people calling in, but we don't really know why we are losing customers. And so they bring us in to analyze our calls and provide them with actionable insights, so we can provide them with information on the sales side, the coaching and the training, to make their teams and to make their management even better than what they already are, which increases the customer experience and increases the sales. So I'm going to go ahead and move along really quick. As I mentioned before, at Conversa, things that we do is we maximize your marketing spend, right? How do we do that? We maximize your marketing spend because we know how much you guys are spending on ads. These are conversations that we're going to have on the front end. And then we take that data, we collect the data through conversations. So you guys get a tracking number. We collect the data through conversations and get actionable insights so we can show you guys how to move forward in your business, which increases the close rates. It increases automatically because you're increasing the customer experience, because it is about connecting. So it's about connecting. It is about building that relationship with the customer on the front end. Because we all know as business owners, there's a lot of times where we do have a lot of ads out there, or we have a call center or a rental company, and we know people are coming in, but we don't understand, like, why are we losing customers, or why is our sales stagnant? And so that's what we do. We provide those actionable insights with the customer experience, which increase your close rates and also increases your reputation. And really quick before we dive in, I am going to go show you a little bit about us. Obviously, we partner with ARA. We have special discounts for ARA, but we also partner with so many companies nationally. They bring us in to train and coach based on the insights that we provide them through our AI technology. So every single conversation that comes in, we have a team of people that basically we have a human, and then we also have our AI technology that analyze those calls. We're looking for certain indicators on what is going to enhance the customer experience, which increases sales. So why is this important? I'm sure you're wondering, why is it important? Well, here are some national statistics when it comes to the customer experience and sales. And I did bring some calls for you guys to listen to, but I think there are some audio issues going on. So I was going to show you, and so you guys can hear what a good call looks like versus, what a call that needs improvement looks like. So 88%, you guys, of consumers believe that the experience a company provides is more important than the products and services, right? Because connecting is key. 94% of customers believe that the positive experience makes them more likely to buy again. So when somebody calls in, it can be a potential customer, it can be a prospect. We want to give them that experience. We want to provide them with solutions versus problems. And that what we do with our AI technology is we listen for those key indicators so we can provide you guys with those actionable insights to move forward. And this is why this is so important, and it provides so much value for our customers, because number one, they are seeing the data, because we digest the data and give it to you guys in a way where you can digest it easily. They're seeing the data and the areas in the company on where they can improve. So 96% of consumers say excellent customer service builds trust. So I want to stop here for a minute. How many of you guys have done business personally? Let's not do this like from an employee standpoint or a business owner standpoint. Have done business with a company and had bad customer service? Put it in the chat. How many people have experienced that? I want to see, because I know a lot of people have. I'm going to leave names out of it with my cell phone carrier, right? They pass you along to the next person. They don't even say or give the next person the information that I already told them. So I don't feel listened to. I don't feel acknowledged. Oh, Mara, so you have your hand raised. You want to add to it? Is she still with us?
Hey, Christina, sorry, that was a mistake. I was just agreeing.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So a lot of us have experienced, poor customer service or bad customer service. And then we decide, hey, you know what? There's no trust with that company. We don't want to do business with them because we don't want to put our money into that company because of our experience. So and then there's 85% of customer service executives says that customers are more than likely to share a positive or negative experience. And you guys, now we have social media, right? So everybody knows if someone has a great experience, they post it on social media or they leave a great review. If they have a bad experience, guess what? They're going to post it on social media and leave a review. And this is what we do with our conversation insights is we analyze these conversations for companies nationally, then provide the training and the coaching to make sure that because those customers, that experience is improved, which increases the sales, the bottom line. And we do this through the coaching and training. And when we work with people, individuals, or we work with groups, we do it several different ways. So do I have any questions so far? No questions? You guys are pretty quiet. Is it because it's lunchtime? Maybe? Okay, let's go ahead and move on. All right, so how it works, and I've mentioned this before, how it works is we have a powerful combination of tools. We use artificial intelligence, and then we have telephone processes and systems that analyze that data. And this is important because it's all about connecting, listening and acknowledging, making recommendations, and closing the sale. But the core of it is people are going to do business with people that they know, they like, and they trust. And we all know that. I'm sure I see a whole bunch of people here. And I think, we've along the years learned this information. People will do business with you if they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And how do you do that? By connecting, by keeping your commitment to them, by consistency, by how you answer the phone. Because in the first 3 to 10 seconds, somebody is going to make a snap judgment on whether or not they want to do business with you. It's sales psychology. And it's over the phone too. Like, what tone are you using over the phone? How is your body language? Are you sitting over, with hunched over like this, or are you sitting direct? Are you answering the phone enthusiastically? Are you acknowledging them by saying their name 2 to 3 times? These are things that builds trust with people within the 3 to 5 seconds. And so this is why it's so important that we analyze those calls and then we coach and train on those tactics. So I'm going to go on to our process, in which I sort of touched base on. And here's our process. So what do? We listen to the calls because we're looking for certain aspects. And I am going to go over the principles of this too as well. We listen to the calls. And how do we do that? Through our AI technology. And then we analyze them, and then we score the calls. The calls have the scores. And so we know where the company is standing from a scoring standpoint. And this is how we create our action plans, because every company has different needs. And we create an action plan based on those companies' needs. And we can also do scorecards based on the company, because we are very familiar that every company has different needs. And so that's what we do. We listen to calls all day, every day. I know I do as the head of training. And so I'm always analyzing, where can we improve the 3 to 5 seconds? And we have a whole program for that. And then we learn what we're good at, and we learn the areas of improvement. And again, provide action plans through one-on-one and group coaching. And then we act. How do we implement what we're learning? How do we implement the data that we're gathering? And then that's where we improve. The coaching improves. And we have seen through our case studies and through the clients that we've worked with, at first they were like, okay, we're losing money. We're spending all these marketing dollars, but we're not seeing anything in return. And then that's when they bring us in. We analyze the calls and we're like, hey, this is what's going on, right? You're not building that relationship. You're not building that customer experience during the call. You're not providing solutions. You're leaving people on hold for too long. And so these are things that we're finding out through the actionable insights that we have. And then we give them a game plan on how to turn that around. And they're actually like, oh, yeah, our ads are working, right? We're just not nurturing the relationships with our customers and our prospects. So
Sorry, Christina, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, okay, you're talking about scorecards based on companies, but can you base it on individuals at the companies?
So yeah, great question, Michael. So what we do, we have a standard scorecard, and then we have certain companies that are looking for certain things from their customer service representatives or for their agents. And so we can create a customized scorecard based on those needs. So basically, and we can later on, if you want, just talk more one-on-one. So basically what we do is we have that customized scorecard. We meet with the company and we're like, okay, so what are your needs? And we come in there consulting. They tell us what's going on. And then we come together, create a scorecard, and those agents or those customer service reps or those employees are going to be scored based on that scorecard. Does that make sense?
So does your AI recognize different voices, for the individuals?
It does. It does. It's pretty
Okay.
cool. Yeah. It recognizes the voices for different individuals. It's a very powerful tool and it's pretty neat. And we usually give people, when they're interested, a demo on how, it actually works and how you can utilize these insights, because we also believe in transparency. And so you guys get reporting too as well. Our clients get reporting. They know, how their agents are doing individually. They know how the management gets a report that breaks down the agents as well. Overall, we have percentages on, okay, well, they're agents, because the principle, the foundation of everything we do is, do our customers, do our clients know, like, and trust the company, right? And so we start with the connection piece, which I'm going to go into in a little bit here. And we teach those principles first. And connecting is foundational for building that relationship. So yes, that was a long answer to your question, but we do provide customized scorecards with the company. We will come in and consult, to make sure everyone's on the same page. And then the employees, whether it's the call center representatives or the staff, because we work with a variety of companies nationally, and hotels too as well. So they will be scored. We will get actionable insights on those calls based on that scorecard. Anybody else have any questions?
Actually, I had one, Christina. So you're basically analyzing real phone calls to the order desk. You're not doing the old, like 10 years ago at a rental house I used to work with, we did a program where it was the secret callers or the mystery callers who called in and asked for a floor sander, that sort of thing. This is more analyzing existing potential rental on the counter, right?
Yeah, great question, Jeff. So yes, we analyze calls real time, right? So people are calling in. Once you're a client with us, people are calling in and we're analyzing those calls. And that's what's being scored. Now, on the front end, since we have a diverse group of people that we work with, we do, if you already have a call recording system, we can upload those calls to our system, right? We can analyze those calls. But if you are a newer client, a lot of times we will mystery shop you. But it's not just to see where you're at, right? We want to see how your team's actually doing and where you're at. And we will have one of our staff members familiar with that industry mystery shop you, because you won't know you're being mystery shopped because they're very familiar with the industry. And they could just act like a current client, as well. And so we do that, but the information that we are scoring, it's live information. So calls are coming in. Our AI technology is analyzing those calls and providing a score. Anybody else have any questions? All right, so I'm going to move on to the next slide. So I would love some participation in this, and I want to know what you guys think. Who is the most important person in your company? So put it in the chat or unmute yourself. Either way, who's the most important person in the company? It's not your boss. Just kidding. All right, delivery drivers. That is a good one, Jem. Who else do we have? Anybody else have any feedback on that? The most important person in the company. So whoever gets this right. Customer facing people. Thank you, Michael. What do you think, Mara? Who's the most important person in the company? Customers. Okay, that is true. All right. So the answer to this question is the person in front of you in the present moment. And this is what we've realized by analyzing a lot of these calls. And a lot of these, they're right answers, they're not wrong, right? But there's more to it than that. It's the person in the present moment that's right in front of you is the most important person in the company. And what we have found is that when we listen to calls and we analyze these calls, a lot of times businesses are busy, right? And so what they do is they ignore either the person in front of them or they ignore the person on the phone, or they put the person on the phone on hold too long and they don't know how to manage their time and service both clients or both prospects. So we teach everyone, leaders and sales executives, to also teach their teams to be, it's the person right in front of you. It's the connection piece, is that we are building relationships. These are people that are coming in, building the relationship and connecting and understanding the customer's needs instead of just being an order taker, right? And that's where we feel that a lot of companies can improve, backed by the data that we've collected, because there are times where people just pick up the phone, they have an enthusiastic tone, but they just take orders. And that's why sales aren't increasing. They're not determining the customer's needs, right? And we're all here to grow our businesses and to grow our companies and to scale. And so it is listening to the customer, listening to the prospect, determining their needs so you can create an exceptional customer experience and build authentic connections while you're doing that. And then the sales always follows. So what we encourage people to do is build that relationship. The first point of contact when you answer the phone, the first 3 to 5 seconds, you're being judged. Just like when you see someone face to face, the first 3 to 5 seconds, we are subconsciously making judgments and we don't even know it. Do we like them? Do we not like them? Do we want to do business? Do we not want to do business? So it's very important that you build that relationship from the moment you pick up the phone or from the moment that you meet someone face to face, because people will do business with you if they know, like, and trust you. Now, do I have any questions so far? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna move on to the next slide. And I think maybe I might finish a little early so you guys can have some time to do whatever it is that you want to do and kind of relax, you know, before you get back to work. So I am going to talk about our principles. Okay. Our principles and our methodology is based on analyzing over 100 million calls. And we found throughout these calls that this is what's important. This is what converts sales. Ultimately, do people know, like, and trust you? So it's connecting, right? It's the greeting. Thank you for calling Conversa. This is Christina. To whom am I speaking with? Right? It's the greeting when we pick up the phone. It's our tone. Are we smiling or are we frowning, hunched over? Are we being polite or are we upset because we just dealt with an angry customer or client? Are we asking for the name 2 to 3 times during a call because we want to build that connection? Are we taking ownership of the call, saying thank you, or absolutely, I can help you with that? A lot of those things, they seem very simple, but it's not, right? And that's where the coaching and training comes in, because I listen to calls all day long. And these things, because people get busy, they need to be coached and trained on to say these things over and over and over again for that client experience. And so, and then it goes to listening, acknowledging, recommending, and closing the sale. We all know closing is the important part, but it's not all about the sales. It's about the connection, and the connection and building the relationship will lead to the increased sales. It's nurturing and fostering that relationship. So this is an acronym that we use. And I would ask yourself, the questions. What are the skills that you need to truly connect with your customers and your prospects that come in the door in the first 3 to 5 seconds, or even the life cycle that they are a customer or client with you? What are the skills you need to truly connect? What are the skills you need to truly determine their needs, to make that customer feel heard? And also recommending. What skills does your team need? What skills do you need to recommend or upsell other services or promotions that are going on? And also, what skills do you need to close the sale? Right? Is your team overcoming objections? Are they optimizing their opportunities? And that is something else our technology picks up on. We analyze all the calls and we give you guys like a nice little graphic chart on missed opportunities. So when people call in and there's an opportunity to upsell or build the relationship or to make an appointment or to close the deal and they didn't do it, we track that too. And we also provide the coaching and training that they need so they have that skill set to close that deal. So those are our principles, our core foundation of how, we have found these skills are valuable when it comes to creating an amazing customer experience and optimizing your sales. And the companies that we work with have found this too as well. Their sales have increased because they implemented our principles: the connect, the listen, the acknowledge, the recommend, and the close. So I want to ask you guys, what are some areas that you struggle in, or what are some areas your team struggle in? It doesn't have to be you personally. Go ahead and put it in the chat. I want to know. So none of you guys have teams that struggle with sales? I know that's not true.
I think one problem in the rental industry is a lot of customers will call in just for information. So they'll call in for an answer or a way to use the old how to dig a hole and get 4 or 5 answers from the person on the rental desk. And then they go and shop or they go look at different options, but don't always close the deal on the order desk. So that's probably one is we're all used to just providing as many solutions as possible to a problem that the customer has, but then don't close it. Don't ask for the business. Right.
Yeah. That is a main thing. Thank you for sharing, Jem, because that is a main thing that I know I hear is that basically, number one, it's a mindset shift. There's a new paradigm, right? Because a lot of people have the mindset of being order takers instead of deal makers. And so there is a paradigm that has to be shifted, and that's what the coaching and training comes in, because they want to have the customer, they have them on the phone, they want to provide the information, they want to provide the experience, but then they don't ask for the business or they don't set the appointments. So yes, that is something very similar that I know a lot of our clients, they struggled with before bringing us in. Very true. Michael, how does your SW deal with accents?
Software.
It works software?
Yeah.
Software.
Or your
Okay,
AI,
cool.
whatever.
Yeah. No, our software, it deals with accents. It picks up on, everything. It's trained to, because we have analyzed so many calls on a national level. it doesn't have a problem differentiating accents at all.
Because I mean, I've even, overheard some of our guys at the counter, they've had difficulty understanding some of customers that may walk in or on the phone. And, there's certain accents that they, some individuals won't pick up on, or they just won't understand very well. And there's a lot of, I think, missed opportunities because of that.
Yeah. I haven't seen our technology have any, problems with picking up on accents. And so that's from my experience, and I listen to calls too as well. Sometimes because I have to coach and train. And so I'm in there in the system, listening to calls, looking at the indicators, the scoring system. When I say indicators, that's what I mean. To see, is this call actually scored, right? Because technology is technology. AI is great, but I also want to double check, especially if I'm coaching and training, how this person's call is scored. And so haven't seen anything when it comes to accents, it marking the call wrong, or or they're scoring less in an area which they actually ask for the customer's name, right? But the system hasn't like mismarked them or anything like that. So
Right. Okay.
cool.
I guess another question.
Uh-huh.
Is there a risk here if one of our staff is engaging with customers, asking the questions, or maybe almost too many questions during the busy time, so others are spending more time on hold because they're not processing customers quick enough?
Oh, I love that. And so we actually train on hold and busy times, right? Because, and here's the thing, I know we've all experienced this, especially with I almost said their name, my cell phone carrier, when we are on hold, right? If we are on hold longer than 30 seconds, it actually feels like 3 to 5 minutes. And so we provide training for, our managers, our leaders, or the staff that works underneath them, that how do you deal with, a customer during a busy time? And even how do you deal with that customer? Say you're on the phone and somebody else comes up to you, right? So who is the most important person? It goes back to who is the most important person? They're both important. It's how you handle that situation. It's how you communicate over the phone, and then how you communicate with that customer that's right in front of you. Because they're both important. If there's no one or the other. Cool. All right. So I did have some more calls for you guys to listen to. I am going to try to share my sound because I had a lot of calls for you guys to listen to show you and so you guys can hear what we're actually looking for. I'm going to attempt to share my sound again. And if you guys can't hear it, that's totally okay. We will just move on to the next slide. So I'm going to try this. Let's see.
Thank you for calling Colorado. This is Mike. How may I help you?
Hi, good morning. This is Jessica from Dozer calling. I was wondering if you had any 6K telehandlers available for rent for tomorrow.
I don't think we do right now, Jessica. Let me take a look. Where are you working at?
In Lawton, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do not have anything available for tomorrow, Jessica.
Oh, okay. When would be the earliest you would have one by?
I don't. I'm looking now. We have one sitting in our Harrisburg store that's going out, and I have no other ones sitting right now.
Oh, okay. No worries. And would you know any other suppliers in the area that might have something?
You could try maybe United Rentals.
Oh, okay, great. And sorry, did any of your other locations have anything possible?
No, that's what I'm saying. I look at our whole fleet.
Oh, okay. No worries. Thank you so much, though, for your help. Yeah, have a nice one. Bye. Bye.
Okay, real quick. I would love some feedback. How do you think this agent handled the call? You can put it in the chat or you can unmute yourself.
He was honest.
He was honest. That's good. You know,
Yeah, obviously no, not enough questions there, but yeah, assessing the situation or, seeing if anything else will work besides the 6K. Lots of opportunities there to ask questions.
yeah, absolutely. I love that. Yeah, he was definitely honest for sure, right? He could have had a better tone. He was just like, we don't have it. Like, let's just move this customer along because we don't have it, right? You could have still established that relationship with the customer, building the relationship. He didn't do that either. He didn't really determine the customer's needs or restate anything so the customer feels heard. So those are just a few things off the top of my head, right? I can go on. But so obviously that would have been a missed opportunity too as well. Or maybe we can't help you with that, or maybe then we can, but I just don't know exactly what the customer needs are because I haven't asked enough information for enough information from them. So that's pretty much what we do all day. We listen to calls. I listen to calls and I coach and train on them on this is how we could have improved this, and also working with that particular individual. Does anybody have any questions?
I had a question, Christina, on, so because we're in Canada, is there a separate set of rules, laws regarding privacy and recording all these conversations? Is that something that you guys will work with everyone on, depending on
We
the
do.
province?
Yep, we have clients in Canada. So yeah, we're very familiar with the laws in Canada. So we do work with people that are in Canada too as well. So we're all good. And that's one thing that we do because I live in Florida. And that's one thing that I know in Florida, the laws here, what we do is basically have a recording. This call is being recorded for quality assurance or whatever the case may be. So the person knows it's being recorded, and that's cool. That's okay, right? Like, because in Florida, you have to tell the person that they're being recorded. You can't just record the calls. So we work with everyone nationally, internationally, and I know we're good to go in Canada because we have clients in Canada for sure. All right, let me look at this chat. Yes, Mara, he didn't lead the conversation. It needed to be asked for recommendations instead of offering them freely. Absolutely, Laura. Very, very true. Very true. So yeah, you guys, this is what we do. I know we have 20 minutes left. Do you want to try to listen to another call? Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
One call, Reynolds. This is Bob. Can I help you?
Bob, this is Dave from Dave's Construction.
Dave, what's up?
Hey, nobody has that.
All right, that's a clip of the call. So I'm going to play it one more time because you got to listen really closely, and he talks fast.
One call, Reynolds. This is Bob. Can I help you?
Bob, this is Dave from Dave's Construction.
Dave, what's up?
Hey, nobody has everything.
Okay, so far so good, How about you?
That's good. Everything's good, thank goodness.
Yeah. What's up?
A lift.
Yeah. What size you looking for?
What size is it?
Well, what are you looking for? A scissor or man lift? What?
No, gotta be for man lift. We gotta stand. We work on the house. We gotta stand on some of them.
Okay. And
Take the material up.
how high are you going?
Well, it's not like real high.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 20 feet maybe, but
Okay.
it's the reach.
Right.
It's the reach.
Okay. So they start at 40. Okay.
Start at 40, okay.
And then they go up to 80, 120.
Okay.
So now, I don't have a lift chart. I mean, there is a reach chart I could probably find you, because it'll show you how far out you can go, and how high you can go. What are you thinking? Like 40, 60?
I was thinking at least 60.
Okay. though if you go 60 or from you go 60 and then you go to 80. So,
Okay.
where are you
Give me
looking
a
at
price
there?
for 60 and 80.
All right.
Arrowhead.
Arrowhead? Yeah. When's your job?
Yeah. What's that?
When is your job?
Well, I don't know what's the availability.
Well, yeah. I know we got a couple 86s in the fleet. Now one more question, Dave. You need articulated or can you use straight? Does it matter to you?
I think we can go, well, cause, in other words, when you pull up, if you're pulling straight, that's the way you gotta go, cause it's not like an excavator, you can't swing that boom around. Am I right?
Right. Well, you can swing the whole thing. You know, the whole thing will move, but the difference between the articulated ones are the ones that bend in the middle like an accordion. So like if you have to kind of go up and over something, that's where they come in handy.
Okay.
You know? So
Yeah.
I mean, if you get a chance, take a look at like if you know, your probably best bet is, I mean, I don't have any, I could probably print you out some spec sheets, but if you have internet access, maybe take a look at the reaches and stuff, you know? I mean, I'll quote
do.
you.
That's what I'll do.
Yeah, I'll quote you
Yeah.
on both of them.
Give me a price for a 60 and an 80.
All right, you want me to email it to you, Dave?
Yeah, would you please?
Sure.
And give me a price with the articular and the straight one.
Okay, they're going to be real close. What's your email,
And
Dave?
how, it's VLV Victor, Larry Victor.
Wait a minute, I lost you there.
That,
Start again.
okay.
Start again.
VLV Victor, Larry Victor.
Yep.
911
Yep.
at PTD.net.
Got it.
Repeat that to me.
Where are you at? Where are you at? Up in Blakesley?
I'm Thornhurst.
6221.
Repeat my email to me.
Victor Larry Victor 911 at ptd.net.
Yeah, that's it. You have no idea how many people don't get that right.
Boy, I got it. I'm losing you, buddy.
Okay, how about now? I didn't even move. I'm in the same spot. Can you hear me?
Dave.
Yes. Hello.
Okay. So there's a lot of things in that call, right? I'm sure there's a lot going through y'all's head on what this representative could have done differently. And with the proper training, they do get there. But number one, I want to hear what you guys think. Tell me in the chat or unmute yourself. Feel free. What do you feel like this representative could have done differently to improve that experience? I'm going to start calling on people. Mara, what do you think? What do you think he could have done
Test.
differently?
Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
I think he could have, if you thought that the call was getting a bit lengthy, redirect the customer or the client back to some resources and then follow up with email. Because it seemed like he was itching to get out of the call and you could hear it in his tone.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah. Great observation. Yep. He could have been like, hey, I'm getting a bad connection. Hey, Dave, I'm getting a bad connection. Let me check on that and call you back in 15 minutes. But making sure he called him back in like 15 minutes because the commitment and the trust needs to be built with that prospect. Anybody else? Telling someone to look it up on the internet. Yeah. Yeah, Laura. Yeah, absolutely. You know, telling someone, hey, you know, you can look it up on the internet. Absolutely. Anybody else? All right. So that's an example of what we coach and train on. And again, I do it on a daily basis. I listen to calls all day long, and it's also supported by our conversation analytics, right? Our conversation insights. And that is our AI technology. And so calls like that probably wouldn't have a high score, right? And it would break down the call and show the areas on what he did well and the areas that he needed to improve. And that's how we would coach and train your team. So do I have any questions?
Christina, do you find people, I guess do management owners use, is it a bit of a weapon for employees, or is it the carrot or the stick, or what? I mean, is that part of your training?
That's a great question, right? I have found that the managers and leadership teams that I work with, they're on board because it's a win-win situation, right? Like if we encourage our employees to take on these principles, then we're going to increase the bottom line. Ultimately, the customer experience is going to be better. The bottom line is going to be increased as well. Never had anyone use it as a weapon from what I know at all. I'm always encouraging to incentivize your team, right? Like Amazon gift cards, because we also break down, there are coachable calls, and then we also have our system acknowledges the champion calls, right? And so we're like, hey, we reward for using our principles. We reward for handling a good call. So the leadership teams that I have worked with, they are huge into personal development and growing their teams and also incentivizing their teams. And I've never experienced or heard from an employee or staff that their leader use it as a weapon. Now, could they? Probably, especially if you don't have the right person in leadership, right? But I haven't heard that yet. And then Ivana, communication was not clear and confusing to follow, seemed way too wishy-washy with the response. Yep, absolutely. There's so many things, right? With that one representative that he could have improved on and done better. So, all right, you guys, that is all I have. I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day during your lunch to learn a little bit about what we do and who we are. And if you guys want to connect with me, I'm not sure, Jim, how it works. Is it okay?
Yeah. Well, I just got a little blurb to say here for you too, Christine.
Okay.
So thank you, Christina. We appreciate your insight into improving our sales skills. The ARA members, remember that through the ARA's partnership with ListenForce, you are eligible for 5 free secret shopper calls and a host of other beneficial services. Check out all the details in the resources tab on ararental.org and click on the phone skills and service training. So again, that's ararental.org and click on phone skills and service training. And you get more information on that offering from ListenForce. And again, thank you all for attending, and hope everyone has a productive day.